Hi, everyone. My name's Jeff Greenspan, and I'm the Managing Director of Financial Modeling Service. Today, we're going to talk about the ABCs of amassing long-term wealth. We're going to start with a disclaimer today. Everyone's situation is different, and the ideas that I'm presenting here represent a method that worked for me, but it is based on my opinion. If you act on them, the consequences are 100% yours. What does it take to retire wealthy? This is a very personal question, but it is not that difficult to devise a plan for achieving financial security. It is, however, sometimes difficult to stick with it. You need three things: time, discipline, and disposable income. The more that you have of any one of these, the faster you can grow. A formal approach to long-term investing requires two pieces of information: your tolerance for risk, defined as your emotional ability to tolerate large swings in the value of your investments, and some idea of how much annual income you want in retirement. There's a great deal to be gained from the formal approach, but I suggest the most important factor is just getting started. So get started. The more time you have, the less discipline and income you need. The earlier you start, the better off you will be. I cannot say that enough. So here are the ABCs for amassing long-term wealth. A, pay yourself first. Everyone recommends this, and there's a reason for that. I suggest that you allocate 10% of your retirement savings, of your earnings, towards retirement investing. That money goes into a waterfall, and the first thing in the waterfall is an emergency savings fund. You need 3 to 6 months of your living expenses in the bank, preferably in a high yield savings account. Once that bank is full, we start to invest in your employer's retirement plan, especially if it has matching. Many employers will match 2 to 3, sometimes even 5% of your income, and you should take full advantage of this. If your employer's plan is a Roth plan, that's great. Put your full amount here. If not, just put in the amount that they will match, and the rest should go into a Roth account. Roth accounts allow for free, tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals in retirement. So they are by far and away the best thing since sliced bread. Start with them, stay with them. If and when you max out money going into your Roth, then next it's going to go into real estate. Technically, it's going to go into that savings account until we can deploy the capital, but the intention is that it will be invested in real estate. And the long-term goal here is to create two separate streams that you will be able to retire on when it comes time to retire. The next step is to make a budget. This is a step that requires discipline, but really pays off if your money's tight. After you've paid yourself, how much is left over? You have to live on that amount or less for the rest of the month. This often requires difficult decisions and delayed gratification. Sorry, that's the price most of us have to pay to retire comfortably. By the way, if you're not willing to pay the price, I'm okay with that. It's your life, your choice. Just don't come crying to me later. For more information on budgeting, I suggest you check out the awesome articles on Investopedia. Step C, keep track of your money. Mint.com is a free tool that you can use to track your spending. Quicken is the tool that I personally use. I don't care what tool you use. The process of tracking your money is priceless. Record all, and I mean all, of your money flows, both in and out, once per week. Perform monthly reviews of your spending and compare that spending to your budget. Track your net worth quarterly. Your net worth is the total amount that you are worth and consists of all your assets minus all of your liabilities. This step also requires discipline, but it will give you a sense of control and purpose. D, pay your credit card in full every month. I'm going to ask you to pause this recording now while you read this screen. Here's the bottom line on credit cards. They are a tool, and paying them in full every month and not buying things that you cannot afford requires more discipline. If you can't afford to pay off your credit card in full shortly after the statement cycle ends, you can't afford whatever it is that you bought. Debt is okay when it is used as a tool. Otherwise, it's a drug that results in your giving your hard-earned money to someone else. E, invest in future income streams. Investing for retirement is really the process of creating one or more income streams for your future self. Current income streams typically come from your direct efforts. For example, a job. Retirement income streams should not depend on your work, so they need to come from investments or assets that create income or that can be drawn down over time. There are two sets of asset classes to think about here. Asset classes that grow in value, and these are the ones that you want to invest in. Later, you may transfer those to asset classes that generate income. Business ownership has a number of interesting advantages if you can handle the level of sophistication and effort required. Real estate, on the other hand, is relatively easy and carries significant tax advantages. So we'll spend the rest of our time talking about how to use real estate in order to amass long-term wealth. My suggestions are that you buy your first property as soon as you can do so without breaking your budget. Here are a few guidelines to think about. Look for lesser homes in nicer neighborhoods. They tend to appreciate faster than the more expensive homes. Buy at the median level or below in a particular neighborhood. Second, think like a renter when buying. You're going to live in this house for 3 to 5 years maximum. And finally, make sure you get the best loan for what you're trying to accomplish. Use net present value techniques in order to make that selection. You can see my video on that purpose. Step 2 is double down on step A3, which is saving money so that you can buy real estate. You want to buy your second property as soon as you can put 20% down. And step 3 here, repeat step 2. The goal is to buy another property every 3 to 5 years, and you are aiming for 5 or more properties. Why that many? When your first property's mortgage is paid off, probably in 30 years, that property's rental income becomes a chunk of your retirement income, and you can start to decrease your workload. After 3 to 5 years, the next property comes off mortgage. Guess what? You get a raise. This can continue until all of your properties or enough of your properties are generating income that will enable you to retire and decide what you want to do next. And that's step F, pick a time to retire. If you follow the ABCs laid out in this video, you'll automatically know when you're able to retire. You will know how much money you need to live comfortably because you've been paying attention to your lifestyle for years. Add up the income streams available from your assets. If they total more than your lifestyle, congratulations, you've amassed long-term wealth. I've put a number of resources here, and I particularly want to call out SCORE. SCORE, which used to stand for the Service Corps of Retired Executives, is a mentoring and education resource available for anybody who wants to start their own business. SCORE has business plans and financial templates, and SCORE is a partner of the Small Business Association. All of the resources that are available here have been vetted and researched and made available to help you start and run your own business if that's something that you'd like to do. And I've already mentioned Investopedia. Last but not least, going back to that disclaimer, past performance may not be indicative of future results, and financial modeling service does not provide advisory services. Thanks so much. I hope this has been useful to you. We'd love to hear from you. Good luck.